The sky burned crimson. Cities that once glittered like jewels beneath the sun now smoldered in ruin. Smoke twisted in sickly spirals, choking the horizon as the final battle of the great Exo-War raged above the dying planet Earth. No one remembered when the war truly began. Centuries ago, maybe, when the first alien fleets breached the solar system's edge and humanity scrambled to respond. They came with weapons unlike anything Earth's armies had seen, technology that bent physics and shattered defenses. It was supposed to be an invasion meant to annihilate mankind, a war designed to erase Earth from the galaxy's map. But this war, it didn't end with Earth's destruction. It sparked something far greater. Captain Mira Celine crouched in the shattered shell of a transport, her hands gripping the cold alloy of her rifle as the sky above exploded in a shower of green fire. Around her, the last battalion of the United Earth Defense Force fought with desperate fury. The enemy's relentless swarm descended like locusts, but humans were not so easily crushed. Myra's calm crackled, the static cutting through the roar of destruction. All units, fall back to Extraction Point Zulu. Repeat, Extraction Point Zulu. This planet is lost without immediate evacuation. Her jaw clenched. Evacuation was death for most. To abandon Earth meant leaving behind billions, friends, family, everything she had ever known. But survival was their only hope. She looked up as a silver shard, a hostile fighter, streaked toward her position. Time slowed in her mind. A quick pulse of her wrist console launched a micromissile that found its mark, exploding in a cascade of light. The enemy ship shattered, but the damage had been done. Debris rained down in deadly fragments. Mira ducked behind a crumbling wall as another explosion shook the ground beneath her feet. Through the dust, a figure appeared. Commander Cale Voss, the hardened veteran who led the final defense. "Celine, how many survivors?" His voice was steady but grim. "Less than 1,000. Extraction teams are delayed. The enemy's blockade is too tight." She wiped soot from her face. "We're running out of time." Cale scanned the horizon. "We hold until the evac fleet arrives. Earth will fall today, but humanity will not." Myra's heart ached at the truth. Earth was their cradle. Every breath they took was tied to its soil. But the war was bigger than the planet. It was about the future. Suddenly, a deep rumble vibrated through the air, shaking the very bones of the planet. The enemy mothership, a colossal black fortress, descended from orbit like a dying god. Its main cannon powered up, a silent promise of obliteration. The evac fleet was still hours away. "Cale," Mira said, voice tight, "if they fire that, nothing left on the surface will survive." The commander's eyes hardened. "Then we stop it, no matter the cost." Mira felt a surge of determination. The war was meant to end Earth, but she vowed it would not end humanity. Somewhere beneath this shattered sky, a new hope awaited, born in the ashes of destruction. As the mothership's weapon glowed, a strange pulse rippled through space, a mysterious signal, faint but unmistakable. "Commander," Mira whispered, "do you see that?" Cale's gaze locked on the horizon where the signal originated. "It's not from any known human or alien source." A spark of something ancient and powerful flickered. The war that was supposed to end everything might just have ignited a new beginning. The strange pulse echoed through the shattered atmosphere, a rhythmic beat amidst the chaos. Mira and Cale exchanged uneasy glances. Neither of them had ever encountered anything like it. The enemy forces faltered for a brief moment, their weapons faltering as if confused or disrupted. "Commander," Mira said, eyes narrowing, "that signal, it's interfering with their systems." Cale nodded grimly. "Maybe it's a trap. Or something else." From her wrist console, Mira hacked into the battlefield's satellite feeds. The source of the pulse appeared on the main screen, a faint shimmer beneath the ruins of what once was the Great Library of Alexandria, a relic of Earth's forgotten past. "We need to investigate," she said. "If this signal is real, it might be the key to turning the tide." "Agreed," Cale replied. "But this means splitting our forces. It's risky." Mira felt the weight of responsibility pressing on her. Yet, the war had already taken everything from her: family, home, hope. This signal, whatever it was, represented a chance. A spark of something greater beyond the relentless war machines and endless destruction. Prepare a squad. We move in 15 minutes. The ruins were silent except for the distant echoes of collapsing buildings and the hum of dying machines. Myra's squad moved cautiously, every shadow a potential threat. The pulse grew stronger as they neared the ancient site, a hidden underground vault buried beneath centuries of rubble. Bioscanners detect unusual energy signatures inside, one of the tech officers reported. The entrance was sealed with an ancient lock, not military, but archaic, etched with symbols that no one recognized. Mira knelt beside the door, fingers tracing the patterns. This isn't human. At least, not in any way we know. Suddenly, the lock clicked and the door slid open, revealing a dim chamber bathed in an eerie blue glow. Inside stood a towering crystalline structure, a relic of some advanced civilization, pulsing with energy that hummed in perfect harmony with the signal outside. Kale stepped forward cautiously. "What is this?" Mira reached out to touch the crystal. The moment her fingers brushed its surface, a flood of images crashed into her mind. Stars, galaxies, ancient wars, civilizations rising and falling. But most of all, a message. We are the architects of the new dawn. The war is a test. Survive, and you will inherit the stars. Mira gasped, pulling her hand back. It's a message from a civilization older than ours. They knew this war would come. Kale's eyes narrowed. A test? What kind of test? Before anyone could answer, the chamber trembled violently. The enemy forces, having tracked them down, launched an assault. Explosions rocked the vault as alien soldiers poured in, weapons blazing. "Defend the crystal," Mira shouted. "If they destroy it, everything's lost." The squad fought fiercely, but the enemy numbers were overwhelming. Just when it seemed they would be overrun, the crystal flared brighter, releasing a wave of energy that swept through the room, disabling weapons, healing wounds, and fortifying their defenses. Mira felt power surge through her veins. The architects had awakened something within humanity, something beyond technology or firepower. As the enemy retreated in confusion, Kale looked to Mira with new resolve. This changes everything. The war wasn't just to end Earth, it was to awaken us. Outside, the mothership's cannon began charging once more, but the pulse from the crystal now clashed with it. A battle of titans in the sky. Mira smiled grimly. If this is a test, then humanity is ready to pass. The skies above the vault burned brighter than ever before, a celestial duel of power that turned night into day. The enemy mothership's cannon pulsed with lethal energy, but the strange signal emitted from the crystal below fought back. Waves of light colliding with bolts of destructive force in a storm of cosmic power. In the ruins beneath the battle, Mira and her squad scrambled to understand the artifact's mysterious abilities. The chamber vibrated as the crystalline core thrummed rhythmically, a heartbeat syncing with the soldier's own. Kale paced, eyes fixed on the chamber's main console, which had now awakened, lines of alien script scrolling faster than any human could read. This artifact isn't just a weapon. It's a repository of knowledge, and maybe the key to our survival. Mira frowned. But why would an ancient civilization leave this behind? Were they waiting for us? Kale's expression hardened. Or maybe they foresaw a war like this one and prepared humanity to rise from the ashes. Suddenly, the crystal emitted a sharp pulse, and a holographic figure shimmered into view, tall, regal, and almost translucent. It spoke in a calm, resonant voice, translated by the chamber's AI. "Children of Earth, you stand at the crossroads of extinction and ascendance. The war that threatens your world is but a crucible. Those who endure shall be granted the power to shape a new destiny. But beware, this power demands sacrifice and unity beyond any you have known." Myra's breath caught. "Who are you?" "We are the architects," the figure said, "guardians of balance across the cosmos. We planted seeds of evolution on many worlds, including yours. Your species has shown resilience, a spark that could ignite a new era. Kale stepped forward. How do we unlock this power? The hologram's eyes glowed softly. Through unity, through courage, through embracing the unknown. Your war is not simply a conflict of weapons, but of wills. Before they could ask more, an urgent alarm blared. Sensors detected a new fleet emerging from hyperspace. Reinforcements for the enemy, larger and more brutal than before. Myra's heart sank. We don't have time. Kale nodded grimly. We either hold this place or lose everything. Outside, the battle escalated. Human and alien fleets clashed in a violent tempest of plasma and metal. Yet the mysterious energy from the crystal radiated outward, disrupting enemy weapons and invigorating human ships. A transmission crackled over the comms, voice trembling but clear. Captain Celine, this is Admiral Riker of the evac fleet. We're approaching orbit. The artifact signal is disrupting enemy communications. We're gaining the upper hand. Mira allowed herself a brief moment of hope. Admiral, we secured the crystal. It's alive. It's giving us strength. Riker's voice was resolute. Good. Prepare for a counterattack. Earth's final stand is about to become a new beginning. As the alien reinforcements closed in, Mira felt the crystal pulse against her chest, a warm, steady rhythm, as if calling her to rise beyond fear. She looked at Kale. This war was meant to end Earth, but it's starting something else, something greater. Kale smiled for the first time in months. Then let's make sure humanity survives to see it. The chamber's lights flared, and a wave of energy swept through the soldiers, binding them in a shared consciousness, a surge of power and understanding that transcended any weapon or machine. Outside, the war for Earth was far from over. But inside the vault, a new era was awakening. The sky above Earth had become a theater of cosmic war, shattered stars, burning debris, and fleets colliding in a violent ballet. But now, something had shifted. The humans were no longer just fighting for survival. They were fighting with something new, something born from the crystal's awakening. Mira stood on the bridge of the flagship Resolute, the pulse of the ancient artifact still echoing in her veins. Her eyes scanned the swirling battle outside the ship's reinforced viewports, watching as enemy ships faltered and fell, their weapons stuttering under the crystal's energy interference. Captain Celine, the tactical officer, reported urgently. Enemy fleet formations are breaking apart. They're retreating, but regrouping near the outer moon. Kale appeared beside Mira, his face lined with exhaustion but burning with determination. This is our chance. We push forward and break their command. End this war now. Mira nodded, heart pounding. Prepare the fleet. We're going after their command ship. As the human fleet surged forward, the mysterious signal from the crystal intensified. Ships equipped with it responded faster, their weapons striking with newfound precision. Across the battle, human soldiers and pilots felt a strange but powerful connection, a bond that transcended fear and fatigue. Deep within the enemy command ship, shadows gathered. The alien commander, a towering figure with eyes like liquid night, watched the battlefield collapse before him. His voice, cold and void of hope, echoed through his war council. They wield a power we do not understand, he hissed. That artifact is not just a weapon. It's a source of evolution, something they were never meant to possess. A subordinate, trembling, whispered, their resistance, it's beyond anything we predicted. What do we do? The commander's eyes burned with fury. Destroy the crystal. Kill their leaders. End this war before it breeds new gods. Back on Earth's surface, Myra's squad pushed deeper into the vault's control chamber. The crystal's light was now blinding, pulsing faster, syncing with the human hearts it empowered. Suddenly, a chilling voice echoed through the chamber's comms. Captain Celine, your defiance is admirable, but futile. The alien commander's hologram flickered into view, his presence a shadow of menace and ancient wrath. You meddle with forces beyond your comprehension. This war was meant to cleanse this world, not to birth your arrogance. Mira stood tall, voice steady despite the pounding in her chest. This war was meant to end Earth, but you forgot one thing. humanity never surrenders. With a surge of energy, the crystal flared, sending a shockwave that knocked the commander's hologram into static. Outside, the human fleet closed in on the enemy flagship. Explosions rocked the void, but the tide had turned. Kale's voice came over the comm, sharp and commanding. Target their command core. This ends now. As the flagship shattered into fragments, the alien commander's fleet began to crumble, their formations collapsing under the relentless assault. Mira looked to the sky, where the crystal's pulse now spread across Earth's atmosphere, a beacon of hope of survival. "This is not the end," she whispered. "It's the beginning." The battlefield had fallen silent, but Earth was far from peaceful. The enemy's command fleet lay in ruins, scattered like broken stars across the void. Human ships regrouped, battered but victorious, their weapons still humming with the crystal's mysterious energy. Mira stood on the bridge of the Resolute, staring out at a horizon stained with fire and hope. The war was over, or so it seemed. Yet the crystal's pulse continued, steady and insistent, like a heartbeat urging humanity forward. "Captain," Kale said quietly, "the artifact's energy is spreading. It's changing the planet itself. We're detecting rapid growth in flora, new biosignatures. Life is regenerating faster than expected." Myra's eyes widened. "Is it possible? The war meant to end Earth, but the crystal is rebuilding it." Before she could reply, a new message arrived, not from human or alien sources, but from the architects themselves. Their holographic envoy appeared once more, serene and radiant. "Children of Earth," the voice said, "your resilience has proven worthy. The war was a crucible, forging you into the custodians of this galaxy's future. The power you wield is both a gift and a responsibility." Mira felt a surge of pride and fear. "What must we do now?" "Unite, explore, protect. The new era you awaken is fragile. There are other civilizations watching, waiting. Some will welcome your rise. Others will seek to extinguish it." Kale's face grew serious. "We've survived the war, but peace may bring new challenges, political, cosmic, unknown." Mira nodded, determination hardening in her chest. "Then we make this new dawn one worth fighting for. Not just for Earth, but for all who seek hope." Outside, the planet bloomed anew. Forests stretched green and wild, oceans shimmered with renewed life, and the skies cleared, revealing stars that seemed closer, brighter than ever. Yet, on the distant edges of space, watchers stirred. Shadows lengthened across the galaxy. The war had ended, but the era it started was just beginning. Mira looked up once more, the crystal's light pulsing softly in her palm. This war was meant to end Earth, but it started a new era instead. And we will rise. The aftermath of war was not quiet. It was alive, restless, like the pulse of the crystal still beating beneath Earth's healing surface. Humanity had survived its darkest hour, but the true challenge was just beginning. Mira stood on the newly rebuilt summit of what was once the great library ruins, the crystal's glow illuminating the night. Around her, leaders from Earth and allied alien races gathered, a fragile coalition forged in fire and hope. "The architects gave us a gift," Mira addressed the assembly, her voice steady and clear. "But that gift comes with responsibility. We must protect it not just from enemies who would destroy us, but from ourselves." Kale stepped beside her. "The war was a test of strength. The era ahead will test our wisdom." Suddenly, a ripple passed through the crystal's light, a warning. Across the galaxy, a new force stirred. Something ancient, something vast. The architect's hologram reappeared, its expression somber. "You have passed the trial of war, but the galaxy holds deeper mysteries and dangers. Your unity and courage will be the beacon against the darkness to come." Mira clenched her fists. "Then we prepare, not just to survive, but to lead." In the days that followed, humanity and its new allies began to explore the legacy left by the architects. Vast libraries of knowledge, technology to heal planets, and gateways to stars beyond imagination. But always, beneath the hope, lurked the shadow of the unknown. The war that was meant to end Earth had instead forged a new path, one that would echo through the cosmos for generations. As Mira gazed up at the stars, she knew the story was far from over. It was only the beginning. This war was meant to end Earth, she whispered, but it started a new era instead. And in that era, we will find our true destiny. The crystal pulsed once more, bright and unwavering, a promise of the future, glowing in the darkness of space.